Think back to your icebreaker speech. What if somebody had told you that after you give this speech, you're going to have to give 99 more? If you're like me, you would have said, just shoot me now. But Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, this is my 10th. This is my 100th manual speech. With this, I will have completed 10 times through the Competent Communicator manual. And one of these times, I'm going to actually get it. I have spent nearly 13 hours of continuous speaking only on CC manual speeches. Malcolm Gladwell says that it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. So that means I only have 9,987 hours to go before I can get this speaking thing down. Today I hope to inspire you to 3 things, and I want you to take these away. The first is the answer to how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. The second is that improvement is always continuous, and you should always take it in everything that you do. And finally, whatever holds you back is always rooted in fear, and the way forward is through that fear. So how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. If somebody had said, you have to give 100 speeches, I probably would have just given up. And many do that too. The key to moving forward, the key to making progress, is one step at a time. The beauty of Toastmasters and this wonderful Competent Communication manual is that it breaks up these goals into manageable steps. It's always important to make the big plans and have your goals and be clear about where you want to go. And you've no doubt heard plenty of talks and information about how to go about doing that. But how many times do you get stuck in moving toward that goal? There was a time when I was playing the violin where I reached a steady spot. No matter how much I practiced, I couldn't seem to get any better. I didn't respond effectively. I didn't follow the advice that I'm giving you today. What I did was I went out and I started learning other instruments, because the learning curve with a brand new instrument is very steep. And so I saw very immediate progress, and I loved that progress. I got addicted to that progress. But I was neglecting my true love, my true passion, which is the violin. And so I finally realized that that slow progress was holding me back. And when I accepted and embraced the fact that I would not progress as rapidly on an instrument that I knew well as I would on a new one, then I began to take one step at a time. I took the next bite, and then the next bite, and the next bite. Now, we often mark our progress through things that end with zeros, or double zeros, or even triple zeros. Remember all the fuss around the millennium. Remember the Y2K bug. With airplanes falling out of the sky, banks crashing, financial institutions in chaos. I don't remember that either. But we made a big fuss about that. And so at speech number 100, I don't make a big fuss. This is just a way station. If I make a big fuss over this, oh wow, I made it to 100. My progress stops. I'm going to wave goodbye to this 100 as it passes me by in a few minutes and move on to the next and the next. And so one bite at a time, one speech at a time. Don't worry about getting your competent communicator. Worry about getting that next speech done. And as we heard so wonderfully, do it now. Schedule that speech. Now, a second, you've heard that practice makes perfect, and that's wrong. Practice helps you reinforce the thing that you're practicing. So if you're practicing something which is not perfect, then you will become an expert at being terrible. The beauty of Toastmasters is this feedback that we get, the immediate feedback about what we could improve on. And I found that that meat in that sandwich is something that I crave. I love that meat. I love that feedback. I want to hear what I can do to improve. And I challenge my evaluator to do that for me today, because there's always room for improvement. There has never been a perfect speech. Every speech has room for improvement. Everything that you do, everything that I do, has room for improvement. And there are 3 words that help me get that, which is just get over that. Get over yourself. I can't be perfect. I can only try to be a little bit better next time. One of my favorite speakers, who competes often in the contests, is a fantastic speaker when he speaks at a speech contest or is giving a prepared speech. But I heard him be the Toastmaster one time. It's nobody in this room. And he just seemed to have lost all of his skills. He wasn't the same man that I saw winning contests. He was just sleepwalking through it. So progress means taking what we learn here out into the world. Toastmasters is not about learning how to give speeches in Toastmasters. Toastmasters is about learning to be an effective communicator outside Toastmasters. What do we do in Toastmasters? In Toastmasters, we fail. Huh? Lance Armstrong, the world champion of public speaking, once said, Toastmasters is a great place to fail. What does that mean? That means that if our speech isn't perfect, we failed. Here in the US, we seem to have this obsession with winning. What do you call the silver medalist in the Olympics? A loser. And here, one of the 2 speakers will be the best speaker. So what does that make the other speaker? A loser? No. My competition is not with any other speaker. My competition is with myself. If I can give a better speech this time than I did last time, then I'm a winner. That's what progress is. So eat your elephant 1 bite at a time. Always make progress 1 step at a time, receiving feedback, especially how you can improve. And finally, what is it that stops us? You all have probably heard that fear of public speaking is one of the biggest fears that people have. Well, let me tell you, there is no such thing as fear of public speaking. Let me say that again. There is no such thing as fear of public speaking. There is fear of feeling shame at failing while everybody in the room is looking at you. That is the fear. It has nothing to do with public speaking. So learning to overcome our fear in these rooms, learning to fail and still be okay, is one of the most valuable life lessons that I have ever learned. I thought I had all this down. But I remember when I gave my icebreaker speech, and Carl was there, and what you didn't know was that I was absolutely calm before giving this speech, until I was introduced by the Toastmaster. And then on my way up to the lectern, my heart, I somehow made it through that speech. I don't remember at all what I said. It was 99 speeches ago, and I'm getting older, so fear is what holds us back. Fear is what's holding me back in some of the other areas, and fear is what I decided to break through when I set my dreams for 2013. My fear of doing something different, doing something that somebody my age isn't supposed to do, rocking out. Rocking out on a violin of all things. So, I will leave you with this. Eat your elephant one bite at a time. Always make progress, taking that next step, whatever that is, and break through the fear that holds you back. And you too will reach whatever goals you have set for yourself. Mr. Toastmaster.